I wanted to follow up on our Westwoods Sunday morning and even our kids' resource that we provided, just simply about the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Um, yeah, just talking about that recent news and knowing the appropriateness of talking to your children about it or not is for sure a reality. But if they're younger, this is probably not something you want to talk about. But knowing full well there will come a day that this conversation or conversations will happen. Um, it's a tragic moment to hear and see literally what happened. Even sadder how long it's been before it's ever been made known and justice being pursued in the ways that it is. But the conversation takes one talking about um, injustice and racism and anger and the value of every person, and literally talking about lament. And really, that's foreign to you and me as Americans, but it's not to those who wrote the Bible. Lament, simply said, is a prayer gone unanswered. And this time is for a real conversation with us and our kids about bringing all ourselves before God and trusting that He is the one to bring justice. And as the Jesus Storybook Bible phrases it toward the end, that He will make all the sad things untrue and bring new life, as we have talked about. And I am a white American that has been living in the majority of society my whole life, so I have no idea what racism really feels like. But those who wrote the Bible do know, as they were people on the margins, those oppressed. So it comes no surprise that we can join them in the prayers of lament, and better understand how to present this to this moment. Um, yeah, so we do pray for an end of racism in the human condition, in myself and in you and those around us. A deeper issue, though, is how and a deeper issue, and along the lines of that, is how the system has been set up. But really, it's deeper in all of us. So as we engage this prayer, we pray for an end of racism at the systemic level, in the ways that we've set up in our nation, our economics, and all those places. And we sit in this moment of being sad with those around us. But also knowing that we can learn to advocate and press into these issues, that we're not helpless in them. And those that may feel helpless, we can come alongside. So we lament, and we just encourage you as you're walking with your kids in this moment or in moments ahead, to press into this, to allow the space for what injustice is. There's a psalm. It's called Psalm. Well, it's not called. It is Psalm 10, and it's a prayer of lament. And so I'm just going to read this, but I would love for you to join us in praying this psalm, not just listening, but also praying and asking Jesus to move in this. So if you want to do that with your kids today, if you want to do that for yourself today, we encourage you in that. So it's simply Psalm 10. Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak, who are caught in the schemes of his devices. He boasts about the cravings of his heart. He blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. Your laws are rejected by him. He sneers at all your enemies. He says to himself, "Nothing will ever shake me." He swears, "No one will ever do me harm." His mouth is full of lies and threats. Trouble and evil are under his tongue. He lies in wait near the villages. From ambush he murders the innocent. His eyes watch in secret for his victims. Like a lion in cover, he lies in wait. He lies in wait to catch the helpless. He catches the helpless and drags them off in his net. His victims are crushed. They collapse. They fall under his strength. He says to himself, God will never notice. He covers his face and never sees. Arise, Lord, lift up your hand, O God. Do not forget the helpless. And why does the wicked man revile God? Why does he say to himself, he won't call me to account? But you, God, you see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. You break the arm of the wicked man. Call the evildoer to account for his wickedness that would not otherwise be found out. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish from his land. You, Lord, hear the desire of the afflicted. You encourage them and you listen to their cry, defending the fatherless and the oppressed, so that mere earthly mortals will never again strike terror. Song 10. This is a different story time. It's a story time about this present moment. It's a story time about being able to be present to the midst of the stories around us, as we are humans and we live in story and we are breathing story. So yeah, it's an encouragement to you to walk with your children in this moment as you see appropriate. Press in to these moments. Don't just let them pass. Offer space for lament. Offer space to press into who Jesus is calling us to be. Sorry. This is a sadder moment, but a realer moment. So we love you and we cheer you on.